It's silent. It's still. I only hear the light scratching of my pen on this page, and that is music to my ears. It's poetic in its meaning. I have time. Hey everyone, I'm Cullan McNamara, and welcome to the podcast about my newly published book, Attempting Local. Attempting Local follows my journey as I explore Ireland, surf the waves of the North Atlantic, hike the country's rugged mountains, and travel throughout Europe, all while striving toward a master's degree. It's an extremely honest account of how tough it can be to leave everything behind and move abroad, though it simultaneously demonstrates the beauty of a life of solo travel. If you're a fan of the podcast and want to show your appreciation, send me a message on Instagram at CullanMac. Tell a friend or family member who may be interested to check out the show or the book. Follow at Attempting Local Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, follow on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, and if you're feeling extra sweet, you can become a patron by visiting patreon.com/CullanMac. Lastly, you can now provide a one-time donation on cullanmcnamara.com/donate. No matter how you support the show, just know that it means a lot. Anyway, thanks for being a listener, and now, enjoy the show. Episode number 19, a series made of many books. Entry number 23, March 26, 2019, 211 days since moving to Galway. Entry title, Small Pond. Galway is getting exceptionally smaller. I was interrupted on a date on Sunday by at least 5 friends. In a span of 60 seconds today, I bumped into a coworker, then, almost immediately after, 2 friends outside a cafe. There's no doubt it feels like home, but it's insane how far I've come. I know 0 people when I moved here. I struggled for months before I felt comfortable, and I'm no homebody. The strangest sensation is forgetting home, as in Michigan, almost entirely. Obviously, if you think about it, everything comes back. I don't have amnesia, but I don't actively think about the other side of the pond. My life is here now, in Galway. I study and live here, and now I even work here. I believe it's unimpressive, especially in a rapidly globalizing world, but I'm proud and content nonetheless. I'll be ready to be back in the States by this year-long journey's conclusion, but I'm starting to think this will haunt me. This experience will become the ever-patient ghost that stalks across continents. Strangely enough, I don't really mean that in a bad way. It'll be tough to put my existence here, this life I've adopted, behind me. If I do, then I've learned nothing. Adjusting to the US again will be tough. I'm now accustomed to a walkable, cyclable, small city, European Irish style of living. While I'm sure I'll find some similar traits in the States, wherever I end up, I'll miss this dearly. I'll miss the incredible nights out, walks to Salt Hill, living on the coast of Ireland, the ability to run all year, comfortably, the live music, the internationality, the mountains, the fireplaces and pubs. I'll miss well-behaved dogs that don't require leashes, and the dogs in pubs for that matter, the various cafes and the staff I've come to know so well. I'll miss the mountaineering club, and most of all, my good friends that I don't want to say goodbye to. I keep remembering the mass exodus that'll take place in May. I'll be substituting those I love with overseas tourists. I'll better understand the pain of making seasonal friends. I'll remain, they'll depart. Of course, I'll have my Irish friends, at least those staying in Galway, and the people from my program, but it'd be futile to deny the fact that more people than not will vanish. In other news, Dara, Sierra, and I had a jam session, all filmed by our friend Jess. We covered one of my favorites, the song All I Want by Cullan. Got some good content lined up now. Entry number 24, April 2nd, 2019, 218 days since moving to Galway. Entry title, Mweelrea. Sunday was possibly the most beautiful day I've ever experienced in Ireland. Trevor, my housemate, and I signed up to hike with the mountaineering club for the last official trip of the year. Mweelrea was where we were headed, and about 25 of us chose the medium hike of 12 miles and a pseudo-moderate 3,000 feet, 900 meters of elevation gain. The group consisted of Trevor and me, Simone, Mackenzie, our hike leader for the day, veterans Shane and Kevin, Kira, and loads of others I've met during my stint in this country. We moved at a glacial pace. That wasn't normal for me, but it was a bigger group and the unbelievably sunny, warm weather justified our speed. We were purposefully making the hike longer. It still ended up frustrating Mackenzie. She was forced to prod the large group each time we stopped for too long. We trudged closer to the sky, which was unusually cloudless and a pale blue, instead of the traditional gray. My Irish friends reassured me that this does happen now and again. The lack of trees meant the landscape spread before us. We were center stage and an omnidirectional carpet of nature unraveled, revealing the beauty of Ireland's west coast. Wind never bothered us. The temperature was perfect for a stroll. Not too hot or too cold. The sun actually had some hikers conscious of the rare possibility of a burn. Peaks and valleys filled the horizon. It was simply splendid. Entry number 25, April 6th, 2019, 222 days since moving to Galway. Entry title, Goodbye Journal 2. Officially, the semester is over. I've sat through my last university lecture. I only have one assignment left, which is to be submitted online in 2 days between me and exams. And tonight we're headed to Dublin Airport and then Barcelona. Today has been a day of rest and recovery. We've completed 4 massive projects in the last 10 days. The end of the semester has not been kind. One professor made it worse by saying the program purposefully put deadlines near each other to induce stress. They wanted to, quote, simulate the real world, unquote. For some reason, I find it hard to believe an actual employer will seek out ways to fuck with their employees psychologically in that way. Seems sadistic and cruel. I was also convinced the university's goal was to educate me, not try and break me down mentally. Either way, it's almost over. I recharged today, watched movies, I read, I finally set up my hammock on campus and slept in the sun. But slowing down has made my exhaustion more clear to me than it already was. I'm struggling to keep my eyes open and it's only 10:30 at night. More importantly, I'm enjoying this moment. It's silent, it's still. I only hear the light scratching of my pen on this page, and that is music to my ears. It's poetic in its meaning. I have time. I'm not making time to write, it's readily available. That is a refreshing thought. The sprint is over, we're inching closer to summer's marathon. I'm nearing the end of this physical journal and I feel like I'm transitioning in life as well. Meeting and ending. Moving to the first page of a new book. I'm realizing that life isn't one book made up of many chapters, it's a series made up of many books. In my case, that's becoming literal. I believe I'm ready for it though. I'm ready for a change in routine. I feel at peace today more than I have in a long time. Oh, and one other thing. Whoever said life is short is a liar. They just didn't fill their time enough. Alright, if you've made it to the end of this episode, then I definitely know you appreciate listening to my story. Showing that appreciation is really simple and it seriously helps the show grow and reach more listeners. You already heard the spiel at the beginning, so you know how you can help. It amazes me that this podcast is reaching people from all over the world, so feel free to reach out wherever you are and share your thoughts on this piece of work or just to chat. Shoot me a message at Cullan Mac or at Attempting Local Podcast on Instagram. I absolutely love hearing from you. So thank you again and enjoy listening to Attempting Local, a year abroad in Galway, Ireland.